Next on Worcester News Tonight, an opioid awareness forum gives Worcester public school parents a chance to hear directly from public safety officials. Plus, plowing problems in one Southbridge neighborhood continue after a developer goes bankrupt. But we begin tonight with developing news out of Shirley, where inmates at a state prison are back in their cells after dozens got out of control. Good evening, I'm Olivia Lemon. This all started when those prisoners refused to get locked in, prompting correctional officers to evacuate. This happened around 4 this afternoon at the Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center. Police say a fight between two suspected gang members broke out and eventually escalated into a riot involving more than 40 inmates. Police say the inmates destroyed surveillance cameras and the housing unit is considered a total loss. A crisis management team was brought in and the situation was under control by about 8 p.m. All of the inmates involved will undergo medical and physical checks. An investigation is expected to be done by the Worcester County District Attorney's Office. An opioid awareness forum in Worcester tonight included a panel discussion from city and state officials. The forum was an opportunity for Worcester public school parents to hear directly from leaders in public safety and elected officials about state and local efforts to combat the opioid epidemic. Information tables about substance abuse and where people can receive treatment were set up at tonight's forum. The event was sponsored by the Worcester County District Attorney's Office. The DA says combating the issue is a problem for the community at large.
Coming together as a community, treating this problem with compassion is going to help us remove stigma, open the doors to treatment. We're encouraging the increased use of Narcan. We're encouraging better prescribing and disposal practices and medication. And finally, we're encouraging counseling for those who can get Suboxone or Vivitrol to help fight the problem.
In 2016, there were 148 opioid-related deaths in Worcester County. The DA says the number could climb when toxicology reports are sent in. Residents of a Southbridge neighborhood are dealing with the aftermath of another snowstorm. It's one of the many problems the community is facing after the developer stopped paying for the roads to be plowed. Residents say now they are taking legal action. Our Catherine Andrioli explains.
Roads in Hunter's Ridge neighborhood are snow-covered and icy. Southbridge DPW is not plowing or de-icing the private roads, in part because they aren't up to code.
To pay for a plow company to come up here and plow in sand and salt, but as you can see, we still have a lot of snow here.
Residents are left with what they call a buildup of problems after the financial abandonment by the developer. The neighborhood currently has no streetlights, no plowing services, and now no garbage pickup.
Trash trucks can't even get up here to get our trash, so our trash is still sitting on the sidewalk.
After bringing the issue to the town, residents are now paying $1,000 a snowstorm to a plowing company to have their roads plowed, something the town says the developer is responsible for because it is private property. For residents, it is one of many problems that started 7 months ago when the land was foreclosed on.
The developer stopped paying National Grid on the light bill, so we have no street lights.
Everybody in town pays taxes, but anyone who has private property, we don't provide services onto private property. So this is not an accepted public road. If it was, we would of course provide services, but we don't own this road.
The town of Southbridge says they are working to resolve the issue.
Conversations with the developer and also talking with the bank that has a mortgage on the company, and hopefully eventually we can get control of this land. And we're talking about trying to find a process to bring the road up to town standards.
Resident Peter Kachi says he's filing a civil lawsuit against the developer. He hopes to see a change in the situation in the coming weeks.
Spoke to the tax collector, the town manager. They all promised a phone call back, and I'm still waiting by the phone. Yeah, it's a waiting game now.
In Southbridge, Catherine Andrioli, Worcester News Tonight.
Thank you, Catherine. A Worcester gun dealer has agreed to end the sales of illegal firearms. The Attorney General's office announced Monday the gun parlor will no longer sell handguns prohibited under Massachusetts law. Attorney General Maura Healey says an investigation by her office into the gun parlor's business practices uncovered violations of state law. According to the AG's office, the gun parlor will have to pay $35,000 for selling handguns not listed on the state's approved roster and Glocks not meeting Massachusetts safety regulations. Worcester police are looking for a suspect tonight involved in a shooting over the weekend. A convenience store owner was shot in the leg Saturday after a masked suspect tried to rob him. Our Rosalind Flaherty spoke with the victim's son today and has the story.
Initially, you just think somebody's like close to dying, though, when you hear somebody got shot.
Ramon Sawar says his father is doing okay now, but he admits he feared the worst when he got a scary phone call this weekend. Sawar's father, Mohammed, was working at Edgemere Mini Mart on Mill Street Saturday afternoon when a masked man walked in.
This guy just comes in and pulls out his gun and loads it as he's walking in, and then just points it at my dad and says, "Give me all your money, or give me everything you got."
Sawar's father has owned the convenience store for more than 20 years. He was restocking the candy aisle when Ramon says the masked man pointed the gun at his father's head.
The guy freaked out when my dad started walking towards the counter. I think he thought that my dad was going for a weapon.
Ramon says the two men struggled for a bit before the suspect shot his father in the leg. The bullet shattered his femur, and Mohammed won't be able to walk or work for 6 to 12 weeks.
I found out that he'd been shot in the leg, which is pretty bad still, but it's a lot better than what could have happened.
Police say the suspect fled on foot and got away without any cash.
Our detectives are working the scene. Our crime scene unit responded, collected evidence, and processed the scene, so it's still active.
People who shop here say they are shocked to hear this happened at their neighborhood store.
Down here, that's not very normal.
It makes me nervous for my individuals that live around here. It's a very good area, unfortunately. People that are not good people, do things like this.
Ramon says he hopes the man is caught soon so he can't hurt anyone else.
We work hard to make a living here, and it's like a very, very messed up thing to try to rob somebody.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A North Grafton woman is being remembered tonight. 22-year-old Jessica Kosman was killed on Saturday in Boston's Mission Hill neighborhood. She was walking up a sidewalk when a driver lost control on a snowy road and hit her. Police say the driver remained at the scene and is cooperating. Kosman graduated from Grafton High School and Boston University. UMass Memorial Medical Center is set to become the first academic medical center to join Dana-Farber Cancer Care Collaborative. The collaboration would connect oncologists from the two hospitals and provide expedited access to Dana-Farber specialists for patients with complex cancers. According to a statement released Monday, UMass and Dana-Farber have notified the Massachusetts Health Policy Commission of the agreement. UMass says it would be for adult oncology services and create specialized opportunities for UMass providers through education, training, and consultation. Dudley officials are expected to move forward with an agreement with the Islamic Society of Greater Worcester over a proposed Muslim cemetery. A town board will meet later this week to approve the deal, but recent comments by one of the town's selectmen received a lot of attention over the weekend. Our Andy Madison has the details.
After a lot of back and forth between the Islamic Society of Greater Worcester and the town of Dudley over the Muslim cemetery proposal, the new year brought a new proposed agreement and a path forward.
We have not been officially notified of any changes of the status of the agreement.
The Board of Selectmen voted to approve the agreement by a vote of the board on December 22nd, which was a Thursday, and one member's comments cannot undo an agreement that's been voted by the board.
Those comments came from Board of Selectmen Chairman Jonathan Ruda over the weekend, telling the Worcester Telegram he would not sign off on the deal based on some recent comments made by an attorney he saw in a local paper. Dudley's town administrator says the matter has been resolved.
Certainly it creates angst and tension and controversy, which this town would be best to try to minimize going forward.
Going forward, Board of Trustees Chairman Dr. Amjad Bamasi says he is hoping the two sides can communicate directly.
Please do not try this in the media. Please let's have face-to-face when we talk, and let's, like adults, all of us, let's deal with the issues.
Later this week, the Zoning Board of Appeals will vote on the settlement agreement between the town and the Islamic Society, which will allow the application process to proceed. Under the agreement, the Islamic Society agrees to use 6 acres of this 52-acre farmland for its cemetery. The Society can't expand beyond that for several years. The town administrator expects the Zoning Board of Appeals to approve the signed agreement later this week and then schedule a public hearing.
We hope that we can reach out to the people of Dudley, have a message that we want to be good neighbors to them and we want to work with them.
Andy Madison, Worcester News.